In 1990, I wanted to celebrate the intensity of my relationship with my brother Lyle. I was 28 years old and just beginning to explore feelings of ambivalence, fear, and hope regarding my family. I recruited 2 other groups of siblings, members of my community, who are also queer, to join me in taking a critical look at their own families. This film is a family album created over the course of 5 years.
So, Ma, how do you feel about me and Lyle both turning out gay?
Both what?
Being gay. Gay men. Ow! Don't pinch me, Lyle.
Well, I would say at first, you know, when I first found out, you know, it was that you were gay, then, I mean, I don't know, it's a cumulative thing. I was upset when I first found out you were gay, because you know, of the future that I thought that it held for you, you know, in terms of permanent relationships and society and so forth and so on. In other words, once I found out you were gay, I adjusted to that, and then I found out, not that I found out, I always knew Lyle may have been gay, but, you know, sort of borderline. Well, I'm saying that, I mean, both of you could have been either way. Phony.
We are 3 sisters. We all raise children and live with our women. Some people just don't want to know and how it affects them.
Yeah,
And the same like my boys. They know their aunts are, and it's okay. They know their mother
they
is.
don't talk about their mother.
But they don't want to talk about their mothers. Society the way it is now, they so brutal against you because of your sexual preference. My God, how do they put the children through it? And if they're not strong enough to deal with it, then
Well, that's why it's important to let them know they're good people, normal people.
Our children want us to be normal. They don't want us to be scrutinized by society. They don't want anybody to say their parents are bums or dope addicts or, freaks. Because, I guess that's how we've been labeled. But, I guess I just chose to tell my children when they were younger.
Well, my kids know.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
that's no problem.
and to say it, we don't make it like it's something mystical, we talk about our love, we laugh about, so-and-so's girlfriend left so-and-so.
Speaking of the three of us, our children are very much the juice that makes us run, and they're the things that keep us together. Tell Thomas why I don't like you to eat too much sugar.
Because I get hyper.
Hi, my name is Paul Eady. I met Thomas at a Kwanzaa celebration, and we were sort of casual friends. We had a lot of the same friends, and he told me he was involved in this project, this movie on black gay siblings. And I just so happened to have a sister, Vanessa, who is gay.
Now, Paul, initially you didn't want to be in this film.
No, I'm sort of private and, nobody needs to know my business. And she's a little bit more out there. She's a little bit more new woman and sort of, So, no, I didn't. But for that reason, I didn't want to do it. And you kept pushing me to do this film. I didn't want to do it.
Paul is the oldest of 8 siblings and the only college graduate.
I had a good life, I think. It was kind of confusing sometimes, but basically, I say good life. But to me, of course, everything I was doing was normal. I started getting confused when other people made me feel that the way I look, walk, talk was different.
Different from what? The same as what?
It's always a lot of confusion when you're young.
I don't think it's the family's position to say, yeah, what they say about you is true. You're different, and that's and confirm that.
I'm
no,
not suggesting that.
You are, no, I know that, but I'm saying that you are you, and we accept you as being you. So that makes you. Does it make you different, or does it make you the same? I don't know.
You're running down that hallway, I remember that was like the first time we really were doing that kind of stuff, like cross-dressing. We'd be all dressed up, like lipstick, our make-believe hair was fabulous, and like our clothes were fabulous, and I get some titties, honey. We were looking forward to going out. Like, when we go out, we would go out. Mommy knew about it too. One big time, we went all out, honey. We even like went down and got a drink or something. We fell asleep on her bed. You know, I remember waking up like the next morning and like looking around and realizing that my clothes had been changed. And I was like, oh, I died of shame.
Are you serious?
Hi, because we were done. You know what I mean? We were done.
I'd love to do my relationship like with my mother.
What? You have to say it, Lyle.
Well, identify with my mother.
Say it clearly.
I identify with my mother more so than with my father. I identify more with women.
You know, we'd have these like imaginary boyfriends who would like, you know, like we were looking for them or like, you know. And then we'd like meet this gang, and then the gang would try to attack us. And we were running, you know. And I remember I think mine was like Billy, and yours was Johnny. Ah, Billy, stop! Ah! Ah!
I am bisexual. You know, I hate to use those terms because society got to put you in groups. You haven't given up
your love for men.
But I'm not one of them women that walk down the street and say, oh, look at that woman there, man, she turns me on.
Yeah.
You know, women don't faze me that way, and definitely feminine women don't turn me on. So,
no shit.
So feminine women don't turn me on. And
those are the ones I like.
And I love looking very feminine, but I'm not. If you want to put it in role playing, yeah, butch queen. But if you want to put it in role playing,
you're still the boss.
But you know what? How come I always knew about y'all? I knew Nita was before I think Nita knew.
Well, everybody used to say she's gonna probably be gay when she grow up because
no,
she's
they
a tomboy.
They said
tomboy and stuff like that.
When I was younger, I used to dream that women would always feed me and take care of me, and I used to always dream of seeing like harems. Women used to always be just housed around me and just waiting on me, and I would just look at them, and they never had clothing on. So I really knew that there was something about women. It wasn't sexual, but it was erotic. And I just enjoyed it. Those were my fantasies. My pre-coming out fantasies was that my involvement are always surrounded around women and their beauty.
Did you always think I was gonna be gay?
Yeah, somehow, yeah. Even though you was running up and down the street with a basketball all the time. The basketball don't make you gay.
I've always been attracted to women ever since I could remember. I'm really starting to wonder whether it is biological.
But I blamed myself, and you were a little differently. I knew Nita was...
You blame myself for what?
No, because I thought you saw me being abused a lot.
I saw everybody being abused a lot.
It might have affected you. You know what I mean? It's not fair. Look, wait.
But wait a minute, now you say, I'm curious about why you say blame.
Well, let me say why I'm saying that. Because it's one thing if I feel a person became gay.
Oh, good luck.
I think we continue to look for the good mother in our lovers and our friends and our relationship in this life that we chose. Because even though we're three different types of lesbians and how we've come out and been comfortable with our lifestyles, I think it has a lot centrally to do with the maternal instinct that drives women for the camaraderie. And I think we probably just got into the sexual aspect and our fantasies, but I think it came about really through a desire to keep with that which we knew, which was our mother could sit down and lay across the bed with 10 women, and they could eat, sleep, drink, work things out. And it wasn't like men had a focus in our lives. Like it wasn't like, so men weren't central.
Did you say we were a matrilineal family?
We were a matrilineal family.
When I was about 5 was my first sexual experience with women. I didn't know whether it was because it's like little girls experimenting with the same sex, or was it because I was more, I was interested in men and women. But I'm 40 years old now, and I'm still the same way.
I was in first grade, and I fell in love with this little white girl. That's white. Yeah, she was cute, had curls. She reminded me of Shirley Temple. And I ate paste for her entertainment and pleasure, because she thought that was so funny. And I enjoyed that feeling. That was fine to me. That wasn't something I went home crying about. I enjoyed going to school, seeing her. I enjoyed coming home thinking about her. I knew then that that comfortable feeling I had was natural, you know? I knew then, with no question. You were like a two-timer. She was cute.
How you feel about me?
You, this is not gonna be long, but you, are a lot more sensitive than what I thought you were. Pussycat, honey.
No, not even. Were you ashamed of the way I used to act?
Act in terms of what now?
Mm-hmm. Because I was too aggressive, obvious, too mannish. Too long time ago, yo.
Yes, I was.
I knew that. You didn't like it. It was obvious.
What it was I was trying to make you me. I felt that you could have done a lot more and could have gotten a lot farther if you had at least put that in, how can I put it? If you had put up a facade.
Put it to the...
Put up a facade. In other words, chill it out, closet yourself.
I used to follow Paul around and stuff. We used to having his little shows and stuff, dancing. I used to follow him around and try try to make it at the parties, and like he didn't want me to be at the parties. Go to the cast parties afterwards, right? Paul didn't want me there. And I always thought he didn't want me there because he didn't want me to see him being gay. He didn't want me to see him flaming.
Oh, you gotta put it twisted.
What? What happened?
Mommy gonna talk to you soon. About your homosexuality. You know that?
Mm-mm. No. Let me have a cigarette. Hold on.
She don't want no details.
Move the camera. I'm tired of sitting.
All right.
Where's Thomas?
He's in the room. You want me to move it up?
Pick it up. Just literally pick the camera up now. Just pick it up by the tripod.
Right there.
I'm tired of sitting.
You want me to change the subject?
No, you can hold it in your hand and do it, can't you?
Okay. Yeah.
Pick it up. I'm tired of sitting.
See.
It wasn't a thing where you would ever hear either one of my parents talking about faggots or pole daggers or anything like that. They were watching, both Vanessa and I. I was real uptight. High school, early college. Because I was just sort of feeling like my whole gay thing. In the meantime, I had hooked up with a group of gay kids in college, guys and girls. And I guess we all, for the most part, were closet gay. I guess I wanted Vanessa to be like the girls that I knew.
And then I felt that maybe Paul was ashamed of me. She's a dyke. She's a serious dyke. She's not gay. This is our dyke, my sister. She was tacky, she was wild, she was, you know, she won't embarrass me.
You motherfucker! And I went to my therapist and
There's a basement.
when we spoke about,
All I've ever seen is the mirror.
and I told her how like sometimes you tell me how, you know, you feel inadequate, you know what I'm saying, you prop me up, you have a certain investment somehow, me being somehow a child that was liked or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
and you use that.
The beautiful child.
The beautiful child, whatever. I see it as an erasure, you know what I'm saying, of like what my experience was, you know what I'm saying? I did not feel beautiful. I'll kill you, boy. I'll kill you.
My rejection of you mirrored the rejection I felt from Daddy. Daddy would dump on me, and in turn I would dump on you, rejecting you because of certain feminine stuff, you know, calling you faggot. I knew it would hurt, because that's what they called you at school.
I was getting ready for my... I want to do battle. At base, I am still that insecure little boy, and when I'm around you, I get that way. See, okay, because I caught you in between one of your poses. Okay. But Mister, you want to say I have all this pain, and you want to go into all this drama, honey. The here, the bit, the everything. Or I'm feeling this pain. I'm feeling this emotional pain. What is it, girl? What is it, honey? Tell me the pain, Mister. Tell me the pain, honey.
I feel a very, very, very special attachment to you because in a lot of ways you mothered me growing up. Mm-hmm. And that counts for a lot for me. You know what I'm saying?
Things was that bad for you, I took you out of there.
Well, but I mean, how could you? You weren't really old enough to be my mother. You know what I mean? And you had to get out of there for your own reasons. You were in danger, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think that that there's anything much you could have done. But you were very protective of me, and I always appreciated that. Even as a kid, I knew, and I really loved you for it.
My sister has always been like my mother. She's been the one, after my mother's death, my mother did die about 12 years ago. She's kept her stature in the family as our supposed to be mentor and look after us. In our personalities, we haven't been too close because she's tried to play mother, she's the oldest and demands that respect. And I've always kind of been aggressive and had a mind of my own, so we never really just kind of clicked it off like, I don't have respect for her being the oldest because she doesn't make all the wisest decisions. Yeah. And it's always been that way. She's always been the, one who got into trouble before I ever did. She's supposed to set an example. Or in her manner of showing authority, she was always more hostile. So who wants to listen to someone, jacking up on you and telling you to do housework, or Mom left me in charge? Well, why don't you act like a person that's in charge? I feel that as the oldest sister, I never was allowed, and I make that clear, allowed to have a childhood. I was forced to watch both of my sisters, and one of my sisters was only a year and a half younger than me. So if she's a year and a half younger than me, how am I supposed to be really so much older to watch her? So first, that was taken away from me. I was not allowed to be a child, ever.
Paul, I got strange feeling. I know what you're trying to do. I can do that.
So far.
But you probably gotta like pick a nanny at the top, right?
Pick a nanny.
Pick a nanny.
My nanny. I like
well,
nanny.
You can say pick a nanny.
I'm gonna give you a little dip kind you want it, but a little bit more funky.
He took care of us. Paul took care. He saw to us. He was right there for my mother. Pain, tragedy, bringing us up, teaching us, making sure we got dressed for school, okay? Make sure we were on time for school, even making sure that the girls' hairs are done.
I've always thought that academically or IQ-wise or whatever, that you were probably the brightest out of all of the children. And I've always been angry that you did not finish school. I hope that before or after I die that you will finish school. And I mean higher education, university, graduate school, because you're more. And then what? And then go on with your life. Because it's that same thing with James. There's some things that you have to do.
I know.
And all you need is the tools.
What makes you think I'm not doing some of them right now?
You probably are.
Okay. Paul's in the house. Okay. Taking care of things in the house. I was with Daddy, Paul was with Mommy. You know, that's how that was.
Mommy and me during our 2-year stay in Tanzania, East Africa.
Well, I was married, I don't remember how many years, to a biological father. I guess about 9 years. Yeah, maybe about 9, 10 years. And just didn't work out. The less said about it, the better.
Daddy was constantly telling us to get away from Mommy, that we were Mommy's boys. So I felt like every opportunity that we had where we could get next to Mommy, where I could get next to Mommy, I was always under Mommy. So I was kind of schizophrenic. Everything was always so tense and so distant. The only time that tension was broken was through the physical acts of spanking.
I don't have a lot of these feelings about Daddy. You tell me a lot of pain, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, why not do with your father? Why not go to him? You know, and
I can't go to him. I'm scared.
And that's something,
I'm so scared.
And that's
something. You know, neither one of us has been able to go to him. You say?
True. We haven't. I'm saying, but
the Marvin Gaye at Legacy.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
I haven't seen him in a year and a half.
Yeah, like the last time I think I realized, I don't know where I came from. Last time I thought, you know, I wouldn't go there because we both say he might kill us. You know what I'm saying? And that is a possibility.
That's a very real possibility.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility. And that's a threat that we live with.
It wasn't our sexuality that threatened Daddy. After all, we were only kids. Daddy had been in the Marines. He had repressed his own softness, his own need for tenderness and love. When he wanted to express his love, he would hold us tightly, saying, "I'll kill you, boy."
The whipping that we got together was the last whipping. You know, I don't understand how he whipped us, holding us in a circle. You know, and holding us.
Was this in the bathroom?
No, it's in the basement of 4130.
What do we do?
I don't know.
I liked my father. He was fun. Daddy was different. He was a busy man, always fixing, look at this, banging on something, whatever, and I was always there. I would like to hand him nails, banging, I hand him the nails, you know, stuff like that. And he loved coffee. I wanted to learn how to make his coffee because I know that's something he drank a lot that he liked, so I wanted to be a part of that. And it got to a point I used to hold his money for him because he used to get drunk. My father drank a lot too. He used to go in garages back then, and men used to have boxing gloves, and they practiced boxing and stuff. I used to watch him, and he stopped that. I used to go with him with his buddy and sit down and watch. He'd give me ice cream, and I'd sit down and watch the men box and cuss and talk. One day he stopped that because I got upset. And one man was beating my father, and he had blood, and I got upset and started crying. And they said, Paul, you got to get rid of her. So I knew eventually she, you know. But he took me home, and we never did it again.
In 1990, Daddy was living in upstate New York. I decided to visit him. The night I spent at his house was the longest we'd been together since I was 7 years old.
Daddy? Hey. What's happening? Did you see me? I just saw you. I came up. I thought...
Daddy did not like being videotaped. But on the ride home from the Hudson River, he let me record a story.
All right, let's go. Her brother died. He lived in the south. Hanging and getting home. And what he did, not me being linked, but what he did, a lot of black parents teach their children how to do it. And that's how he had the local around there, but not let the go to your Adam's apple. Take everything in the chin and whatnot. He was able to do that. And her brother, her brother tried to do that and he hung himself. And they were very, very close family. And she said even though they were that close, the mother and the father never let that interfere with them laughing and having enjoy it. She said they disguised that hurt. Terrible.
As an adult now, I can imagine my father negotiating a world constantly trying to shit on him and spit on him. He should have come back home and cried.
Okay. Don't press it yet. Oh, I took it off. Okay. You took it off? Yeah, I took my film, but it was red. Is it red now? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, that means it's shooting. It's shooting? Yeah. You can put it back on. How to put it back on? Press it again. Okay. And it turns it off. See if I can actually go into the water. Nah. Don't mess around down there, kid. Really? Yeah. Is sound on here, too? Yeah, you get sound, too. Yeah. All right.
He called me a year later
Another couple of weeks, you come up again. These will really be nice.
and asked me why I didn't call or visit.
Very nicely. Got some of the ducks up there.
I told him honestly about how I felt.
Next time you come in, make a specimen of this one running. Oh, I would like that, Daddy.
About the violence during my childhood.
We should make it like in a couple of weeks. Yeah, definitely. You know? Yeah.
He cursed me out over the phone and then hung up. We haven't seen each other since.
Adrian never had the opportunity to have a father around, and the relationship she had with my father was not a good one. There was sexual abuse allegations. She was very distraught knowing that that was not her biological father. It worked on my mother's nerves. It worked on Adrian's nerves with
My father, it worked on our family, because how do you love a person that's your dad? And here you have someone you're supposed to love who is your sister tell you, you know, you shouldn't love him because he's a creep and he did this to me. And he's not a good father, and if my father were here. So we've had the sibling rivalry because of our parentage, our fathers being different, and I think it's affected the type of love and security that each of us had.
Somewhere along the line, I don't care what you do, you can stay angry, but you need to forgive.
Who? Him?
No, yes.
Oh, no, baby. You ain't no psychiatrist in the world.
No. I didn't say love. I didn't say love. Listen to me.
Forgive? No way.
If you realize that he's sick and no good, and you say, God, help me forgive him so I can go on with my life.
Sorry.
Because as long as you hold the hatred and the anger and say, I will not forgive, I am below for human forgiveness.
I could forgive.
I don't know if I forgive.
No.
Okay, all right. I don't mean,
I don't know.
Can I say something?
Because if you forgive, it somehow makes you complicit in it. She was a child.
Okay, all right.
All right? Now,
I'm sorry.
I think what you need to do is get some help to deal with it for yourself, but not forgiving him is not part of that.
But what I'm saying is, if I knew that this situation wasn't continuing to this day, how can I forgive somebody or say, oh God, please.
So listen, what can we do? What can we do? I hear you.
Oh God, please let me forgive this man, because that.
And I don't mean to say
that's like closing the door that this shit ain't going on and this shit is still. No. Listen to me. I'm not talking about just my experience.
Others.
I'm talking about it's still going on. There's 2 other girls who are on welfare, got 3 or 4 kids. Their life is ruined because of him. The doctors told me. What do you think? They put Tony on a plane and sent him back one way. Paid for it. Didn't ask me to pay for it.
Because the 2 girls,
because there was something going on in that house. And they said that the girls were sexually abused.
So what
you might have been a biological daughter, but the other biological daughter is not. Why?
It's just so deep, because like with her, you know, her pain is so real, and she like lives her pain on the outside of her, and she wears it on her, which is good, you know, because it's like moving outside of her.
Right? Let me say.
Yeah.
Because unless it was a choke.
Just a little lighter.
No. Let's say without this thing here. How do you think? Yeah.
But I'm the kind of person, you know, I don't carry my shit on my sleeve all the time. And just because I don't doesn't mean that it's not there. And I need people, particularly my siblings in my family relationship, to honor my experience too, and to see me. Because, you know, just because I don't wear it doesn't mean I don't have it, and that it doesn't need to be acknowledged too. Because when it's not acknowledged, then they think I can always be a buffer between them. And, you know, I'm tired of that shit. I wouldn't care if I didn't care about him, because, you know, I know how to, like, hit the road and, you know, not be available. And I can do that, but that's not what I want. I want a relationship with them. I just don't want to do this. Let me finish what I was saying, okay?
All right, what?
All right. The other thing I was saying is about forgiving him. I don't think whether you forgive him or not is not even the point. The point is that the emphasis is not on forgiving him, it's healing yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm
let
all
me
right.
finish. No, you're not all right. If you watch this tape, you're going to see you're not all right.
Yeah, you're full.
And this is what I've been trying to tell you. Yeah. You may not like the way I go about my healing. The one thing, the one difference between you and me all right, is that I'm taking responsibility for healing myself. I personally think you shouldn't forgive him because what he did to you was wrong. You were a child. But that's not the point. The point is that you heal yourself and you take steps in your life to do that and not be willing to live as a victim. You have to start being a survivor now of incest, not a victim. And you're gonna and you're gonna have
as a victim and victimization.
Yeah, because you're suffering, and I would suffer too, and I hate him too. Fuck it. But you know, the whole point is this: it comes a point where it's not even about him anymore. If he is doing that, then we can do something about it.
But you don't think I go on with my life every day?
Yeah, but you could be a walking zombie. Crackheads walk out there and go on with their lives, but they're not living because they're not healing.
I think I've been living.
I think you've done a remarkable job based on what has happened in our lives.
That's why I can't let the cigarettes go, because every time I put it down and get ready to have a nervous breakdown, there ain't nothing to talk about. I hear myself going on my trips to the Bahamas somewhere.
You know, so everybody suffered. I suffered because I saw, you know, you guys getting the shit beat out of you. I was a kid, but I remember those things. I saw him put a gun to my mother's head. How do you think that all that stuff affected me?
But then you didn't see him put it to my head every week.
Well, you know, I saw him put it to my mother's head. That to me is deep. All right? So I'm just saying, you know, we all got our issues, we all got our pains, but, you know, this is the first time I've acknowledged, you know, what has happened to me. When those horrible things happened to you as a kid, Nita was a kid too. She was a child too, and kids have very mixed signals about how to handle stuff like that.
I think the burden of Adrian having to be maternal probably put a strain on how we could develop as friends.
But I feel that both of my sisters use me to some degree, being a mother to them. And then when I would say something, then it's like, mind your business, Dad, but I'm grown. However, Ann and I know we have come a long ways with that issue.
Well, I like cemeteries. The reason is because, you know, whenever I'm in a cemetery, I look at those monuments and I see how people wait till they die to build monuments about strength and power and beauty. And it reminds me that every day has to be a living monument. And we have to take care of the things that are still around, the things that are important.
Thomas, now enough's enough, sweetheart.
No, let him go ahead.
But we bad for Eddie. Two girls is.
I don't care. Let him
but we two girls is. He a boy.
Let him go ahead and do the. Hold up. It look good. You messing it up. Wait a minute. Now it's all right back here.
Thank
you,
you,
piece of weight.
I'm gonna make sure you get every foot of film that you want. Do you hear me? Everything that you want.
Okay.
Just so you know, you didn't plan on that.
Now, your head look good. What's wrong with your head?
Did not know this party was going. I'm gonna see to it personally as a servant that you get everything that you want.
Tell me what's happened here today.
I love him. He's sweet.
Then tell me what happened.
What happened?
What happened here? Wait a minute.
Well, Edna, you tell me.
My name is Edna Green. I'm an old woman. Maybe not old. 38 years old. Today is my brother's birthday. He was so surprised. He was very surprised. He was so shocked that he didn't know anything about it. And I mean, it's just fabulous. So, we're all having a good time, family, friends. Everybody's here. Tallulah, his dog is here. Tallulah.
That's okay.
My name is Jessie. I'm Paul's sister. Paul's sort of like middle sister. And I don't know, I just like to look good. I like to look good. I want to be a cosmetologist one day.
I'm waiting for my other brother to come. It's his birthday too. Their birthdays are like a day apart. But he'll be here soon. So hot.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paul. Who's not here? Happy birthday to you.
You're gonna make a wish.
You are 41. Yeah, let's go on this one. All right, Paul, make a wish.
My mom, since I talked to her last summer about me being gay, it's better. She's careful. She doesn't want to pat me on the head. I mean, because she still doesn't agree with the whole thing, but because she knows now, it's much more smooth. In terms of me, it's like a big heavy weight off my shoulder. I came out last year, so I'm fine. You know, so I don't give a fuck who knows, because I told my mom. Ha! Whether she likes him or not, and she don't.
Make a wish for James.
All right.
No, make a wish for James.
I did.
It
was a double wish.
All right, let me say yeah real quick. Yay! All right, get his bag, get his coat, call the train station, get him out of here. I went through enough, huh? It's over with now. I'm so glad.
Sometimes I get frustrated thinking about Paul, because I want Paul to be happy. And sometimes I get frustrated being with Paul, especially when Paul's tense or snappy or aggressive. It's like we're not relating here, you know? And then sometimes we have a good time together. It's up and down, it's up and down, it's up and down. Then just when it's up and I'm feeling good, wham, he shut down on me. And just when I think he shut down, he come out of nowhere from around the corner, hey. I'm like, come on, can we talk here?
Miss Titty, how you doing? Do you like Tallulah in your house? Miss T. Miss T.
Like this.
Miss T and Tallulah.
No candles like this.
Well, I don't know how you get no. You don't think so, Paul? No. They like each other. They're both the same size.
But I want you to shoot my children for your leave. See, none of them.
Well, you can shoot them.
This ain't videotape neighborhood.
Oh, you really just put my neighborhood down. Why?
I'm not putting it down. They said it's not videotape neighborhood.
Come on, Paul, let's take a walk around the block. Henry House. Come on. You're scared. I'll be scared too. They were shooting right here last night. So come on, Paul. Come on.
This is different. This is classic Baltimore architecture. These steps, the row houses and the white steps.
Oh, this is Baltimore architecture?
Yeah, that's classic Baltimore. It's known for row houses and white marble steps.
I want her to realize that I'm there for her. With all my busyness and craziness, and I'm there for her. And I always have been. That's the read. It's like, you have to kind of pull me sometimes and say, Paul, I need to talk to you about this. Shut up, I want to talk to you about this.
Look at my hat. This is a nice hat Paul gave me today.
I love it. Paul gave you that?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't give me much. But that's a nice hat that he gave you, though. I do like it, seriously.
Paul, why don't you give your sister anything?
He's a German Shepherd. No, he's a German Shepherd. He just was sick. He was sick. Yeah. He met everybody. You understand? Baby, don't fall out. Keep on going, though.
How you been?
Try to find some shade, honey.
But I thought you told me that you were going to get a videotape so you could take some
here,
people.
the kids out here, right here. When I get all the kids together at night in the evening, we play.
What's my name? And what's my name will always be something.
Miss Vanessa.
That's right. And when we play in the evening. When we
Dodgeball.
And when we play, we serious, aren't we?
Yeah.
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
All right now.
She called me a month or two ago. I don't know, I think she was breaking up with her lover or something, and she said she wanted to change some things. She wanted to do some things. And that made me feel so good. Now, whether or not she does everything she said she was going to do or whatever, it made me feel good that she called me and woke me up one night and she felt open enough to tell me that she wanted to change some things and do some things, and do I think that she could do those things? And that made me feel good, because of course she can do those things. And you know, I couldn't even go back to sleep at night. I was so fucking happy.
They're here. It's too hot. They're here. Is that a new dance or something? Save your energy for dodgeball. You will need it. We're gonna have a killer game coming up 2 days. So you better get ready. Oh, cut my hair. Sit down. So you gotta talk to these children like you're talking to animals. Come on, get in the business. You're gonna get in there front and center now.
Ron, let's see. Here, Aunt Rose.
You gotta put his behind in the front, honey. Y'all look like a bunch of Ethiopians. No, he's scared. Y'all scared.
Would you be prepared if I died before you did?
If you died of AIDS?
Died before if I died first.
Yeah.
You would be prepared.
I think this past year for me has been incredibly difficult, you know. I mean, I'm still, you know, asymptomatic, but I think for the last, ever since I found out a few years ago, you know, I've gone through, you know, different moments of being deeply ambivalent about it, being more accepting and more in denial about it. To somehow see death in a different way. It doesn't have to be so tragic. There's been a certain beauty in coming to terms, you know what I'm saying, with the impermanence of life, you know what I'm saying, the fact that, you know, it's not guaranteed to any of us.
Are you fearful for us?
Well, I imagine to a certain extent, yes.
In what way?
Well, fearful in the sense of the AIDS virus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, that at this point, that's part of the major fear.
But considering what she just said, I mean, how does that fear play out? You know, considering that I'm HIV positive and like
Well, it doesn't play out any. It's just. It's not so much as I mean, it's a fear, but I don't think it plays out necessarily in any particular way. I mean, it's something that's out there, but there's nothing that I can do about it. I just, you know, pray that you stay healthy. And you have taken sort of charge of your health, which is really, you know, relieving to me.
Someday I'll do your...
I don't know, I just like, you know, like I feel like, well, why didn't I tell someone how Grandma and Grandpa, you know what I'm saying? Why have I opened up and
Tell them what? That you're
HIV positive. And I actually might.
How long have you been married now?
59 years.
Oh my goodness. And when will you be 60?
June 1992.
Are you guys swaying? Back and forth?
I wouldn't tell Grandpa because he internalizes everything. Especially with the condition that he's in.
Yeah, that's a consideration.
I mean, you're not sick now. If you were sick now, then I would have to tell him. But, you know, I don't think that, I didn't tell Lee.
How do you think Lee will respond?
Well, he will be upset, you know. Of course, anyone would be within their right mind. If they love you, they're going to be upset. But I'm saying that he could be told, I'm saying, but I wouldn't want to tell Grandpa.
How do you feel about Lyle being back home?
Oh, very much surprised. I didn't expect him. I was thinking about him this morning. And I said, oh my God, I don't think Lyle will be here. Because the last time I heard that I was told that probably he wouldn't be able to come. Who told me that? You told me that, didn't you? Somebody told me that.
I don't think I told you that.
Somebody told me that Lyle may not be able to get off the country.
One of my issues that comes up in terms of like dealing with, you know, going on or whatever, you know, has a lot to do like with you. You know, in terms of like, you know, how you would deal, you know, like with my death, or how you would deal with other people in my death. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that being clear. Well,
I see.
We thank you, O God, for another day, another Christmas season. We thank you for all our friends and relatives who are gathered here. We thank you for this food that we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies for Christ's sake. Amen.
Amen. Would everyone just stand and pretend to pray again, so while I just cover the room? Just lean down. Now, would you add a little extra to the prayer?
Don't be surprised.
Everyone, please.
Okay. Come on, baby.
Laura!
Oh.
Lyle?
Close your mouth.
Lyle, come on, Lyle.
This is how I pray. Okay? Let's break bread.
Let's break bread.
I'm breaking bread, folks.
You know, I felt so many different emotions. I felt guilty because, you know, he's my younger brother. I felt you know, I felt powerless, you know, to do anything about him being HIV positive. And so I began this film to actually document, you know, our special relationship. And I don't feel like his being HIV is a death sentence anymore. And I feel like, you know, we've begun now to be able to talk with one another and understand one another's perspectives. And it's very difficult. That was great.
I feel hopeful about life.
That's it. It's not gonna get any better than that.
That was good.
I've chose to do like my mother and be a warrior. And yes, they may ridicule me, but if I'm going to be a heretic burned at the stake for being a woman who loves the sensuality and compassion and camaraderie with other women, there's a stake down the street and they're surely going to burn me. Because I'm a lesbian, my life has evolved around women being central, and I rather enjoy it.
And somehow when you step out onto the edge, when you have an imagination and you can sense the world in its larger capacity, you know that things are ebb and flow. There was a time in the past where the woman's energy was much more revered. And because we live in the throes of patriarchy right now, the earth is out of balance. So part of the energy of being a lesbian, being involved with other women, is celebrating the feminine ray.
It's Mother's Day, and while I think of white roses and Polaroids, I dream of wisdom born of struggle.
Excuse me, what's happening here today?
I'm going to be a grandmother in a couple of weeks.
A grandmother?
Yes, grandmothers are not the traditional grandmothers anymore. When they start looking like grandmothers, they're great-grandmothers.
Woo!
How you doing, Mr. Harris?
I'm doing okay. So if Adrian's going to be a grandmother, what are you guys going to be?
I'm going to be a great aunt.
I'm going to be a great aunt.
For the last time.
And what are you going to be, Omar?
Pops.
A pops.
Cut the cake. Cut the cake. Cut the cake.
Put your heads together and stop drooling.
Who is here? This is my sister. Which one? The ruler one.
I want to get in
The
here.
ruler one. Like
The ruler one.
That's what gets me in trouble all the time, right?
With the help of many other people that were part of the community, part of the family, we managed to raise you kids, and you kids, I think you've made it. There's no such thing as you've made it, but you are making it, you are still in the process of becoming, like we all are.
Confronting.